Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thanks to Soul Food for the opportunity. Um, shoot, I'm going to noodle around here for just a second so I can get my nerves to settle down, and then I'm going to play some music for you. If during this whole little thing here it would help me, if some feet got going, I wouldn't be totally offended. You got to move. You got to move. Oh, you got to move, child. You got to move. When the Lord gets ready, you got to move. You may be rich, you may be poor, you may be high now, you may be low, but when the Lord gets ready, you got to move. See that woman walk down the street? See that fat old singer stand there, beat his feet? When the Lord gets ready, oh, you got to move. You got to move. You got to move. Oh, you got to move, child. Oh, you got to move. Oh, when the Lord Oh, when the Lord gets ready, you got to move. Thank you. How we doing there, Kev? Good? Okay. So I'm going to be playing a combination tonight of kind of covers or actual covers, and I'm also going to be playing some songs that I've written. This is one of them. I'll try to let you know when mine are coming up. Otherwise, I just hope you enjoy it. It's called Some Days. This would be roughly about my stubbornness, I think. My wife is sitting there saying, "Oh, come on, Tim, no. What are you talking about?" Some days I'm just not gonna listen. Some days I'm just not gonna see. Some days are all about the love and the light. Most days are all about me. Some days I can dig down past the busted heart, find whatever wisdom I might own. Some days I spread my tattered wings to fly. Most days I just sit and bitch and moan. Some days you catch the very fire of life in my eye. Most days it's hard to figure what to do. Bad days I can't see past the end of my nose. Good days I can almost see you. Yeah, good days it's an easy reach across to you, sweetie. I could close the gates all down, but I don't. Bad days I can't seem to find me any way through. I could throw the windows wide, but I just won't. Good days are bad, fat days are thin. Use a few to count your blessings, so many more to sit with sin. Days live like poems, days with no rhythm or rhyme. In the end, it all comes down to how you're doing your time. Some days the sun rolls up just like a promise. Most days we're doing good with half a guess. Comes a time, every day seems to slip by too fast. End up counting the few days we might have left. Few days full of peace, some redemption. So many made of trouble and strife. all of them flown by too quickly, I guess. Simple coming, simple going, that's a life. Good days are bad, fat days are thin. Use a few, count your blessings, so many more to sin with sin. Days live like poems, days with no rhythm or rhyme. In the end, it all comes down to how you're stacking your time. Some days I'm just not gonna listen. Some days I'm just not gonna see. Some days are all about the love and the light. Best days that light almost sets me free. Some days are all about the love. Best days that light almost sets me free. Thank you. Always good for a songwriter to pay homage to the songwriters that have come before. This is probably, in terms of Americana music, which is, I guess, what all of this is called nowadays. Used to be folk, now there's so many other influences in it. It's called a lot of things, but one of the guys who almost kind of started the genre was Townes Van Zandt. Living on the road, my friend, supposed to keep you free and clean. I don't like where I am. I'm going to play it in another key. Isn't that better? Oh, yeah. Hey, you can feel it. Listen. Living on the road, my friend. Better, huh? Gonna keep you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, breath as hard as kerosene. Weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one at sea. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sank into your dream. Pancho was a bandit boy, horse as fast as polished steel, wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. Pancho met his Angelo on the desert down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying words. That's the way it goes. All the federales say they could have had him any day. Only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose.
Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. Dusted poncho a bit down south, ended up in Lefty's mouth. The day they laid poor Pancho low, Lefty split for Ohio, where he got the bread to go. There ain't nobody knows. But all the federales say they could have had him any day. Only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose. Our poets tell how Pancho fell. Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. Desert's quiet, Cleveland's cold, so the story ends, we're told. Pancho needs your prayers, it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do. Federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him hang around out of kindness, I suppose. Few great federales say they could have had him any day. Only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose.
Thank you. We tune because we care. It's another original. This is called Roll Away the Stone.
You got to roll away the stone. You got to roll away the stone. Too deep, too long, inside a broken song. You got to roll away the stone. Lift your weary head and look out to the east. Lift your weary head and look out to the east. A ragged few still wait outside your darkened gate. Lift your head and look out to the east. You got to take just one step toward the door. You got to take just one step toward that door. Let someone else have room inside this crowded tomb. You got to take just one step toward the door. Set your weathered hand unto the plow. Set your weathered hand unto the plow. It's nearly day, and your old mule knows the way. You got to set your weary hand unto the plow. You got to roll away that stone. You got to roll away the stone. Too deep, too long inside that broken song. You got to roll away the stone. You got to roll away that stone. You got to roll away stone.
Thank you. Guys doing all right? Talk. Speak among yourselves while I do this. This is not an exciting part. I'm going to switch the capo and tune the guitar again, so please feel free to interact. What's that? Every move. Well, don't. Okay. Okay. Janae, this is for you. So, last summer, Donna, you guys all know who everybody is. So Donna and I were down at Folk Life in, not Folk Life, the Sisters Folk Music Festival. And the Jimmy LaFave Band, along with some awesome other people, Eliza Gilkison, just awesome folks. Anyway, they were doing this tour of Woody Guthrie songs. Last summer would have been Woody Guthrie's 100th birthday had he still been alive. And, you know, I think it would have got, I don't know, there's something, it's like admirable at the time, but, you know, it's a little jaded and everything. And the songs were just awesome. And of course, great, you know, great production and everything. But the songs were just awesome and as relevant as they certainly were when Woody Guthrie composed and sang. Also lived in Arizona for a while and certainly got very aware of the whole deal with the immigrant issue down in Arizona. And so this is a Woody Guthrie song called Deportees. It was also known as Plane Wreck at Los Gatos. Crops are all in, peaches are rotting, the oranges piled high in their creosote dumps. They're flying them back to that Mexican border. They'll pay all their money just to way back again. Father's own father, he waded that river, spent all the money he ever made in his life. My sisters and brothers, they rode them damn trucks, worked in them fruit trees till they bust down and died. Goodbye, my one. Bye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos. Jesus y Maria. Why you won't need no name when you ride the big airplane? All they will call you will be deportee. Some of us are illegal, and others not wanted. Your work contract's up, you got to move on. 1,000 miles to that damn Mexican border. Chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. So we died in your hills, died in your deserts, in your cold, cold mountains. Oh, we died on your plains, died neath your trees, died neath your bushes. Hey, both sides of the river, oh, we died just the same. Oh, goodbye, my one. Bye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos.
Jesus and Maria. Oh, you won't need no name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon. Fireball of lightning, ooh, shook all our hills. Who were these sweet friends who scattered like dry leaves? Well, the radio man said, hey, they was just deportees. Is this the best way if we can grow our big orchard? Is this the best way to grow our good fruit? To fall like dry leaves and rot on the topsoil and be known by no name but just deportees. Goodbye, my one, bye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos. Jesus y Maria. Oh, you won't need no name when you ride that big airplane. All they will call you will be
Thank you. So I got to say something. I started writing songs. I walked away from music for like 30 years. And there's maybe some people watching the streaming here that will just scratch their heads and say, "Yeah, you did. What was the matter with you?" And I don't know what was the matter with me. I still don't know what's the matter with me. So that's consistent. But when I got back, I found that I was older, and I have this Irish melancholy thing. So like that happy fast song that you're waiting for, I already played that. So we're just gonna keep going with the. Actually, I stole that line from a very favorite writer of mine, but it's true. Um, so I hope you enjoy the thinking and feeling. This is one of my songs. It's called Still Not Too Late, and as soon as I get it set up, it'll go something like what I'm playing. Does it sound okay? Is it mixing all right? Can you hear it okay? Yeah? Okay. Could I please have a round of applause for the person who kind of made this possible, helped set this thing up tonight, and is keeping the sound nice and doing the recording? Kevin, please. Thank you. It sounds really good up here, and from what I can hear, the house, it sounds great too. So it's called Still Not Too Late.
afraid I might not be obscure enough. I'm a little too easy to read. I suspect I ain't very literary. I ain't got no postmodernist creed. Where I live seems we're fine with the $4 wine. Hike at the end of the week, and the love up or down keeps our feet on the ground. It's about all the meaning I seek. The rain slipping soft down the window, the world's tears for the sad and bereft. With some linguistic luck, I could just deconstruct it, but I don't think I'd love what was left. Razor thin, the cold comfort of logic, no better than some promise of a sweet by and by. Mostly find I'm all right with the small points of light at the edge of my sweetie's blue eye. Here. Now. This. How could we miss the deep singing beneath us? You, me, us. See, say it's still not too late for what's real to reach us. We're as tight as can be with our pads and 4G or 5, whatever it is now. Watch us network and face bitch and bleat. But we're lost in our texts, and our kids will lose next. Ain't no map that's the same, it's a street. And the push button shove of our electronic love ain't no touching of nobody's face. Ain't no flesh, ain't no blood, ain't no stars, ain't no mud, ain't no rise, ain't no fall, ain't no grace. Here, now, this. How could we miss the deep singing beneath us? You, me, us. See, say it's still not too late for what's real to reach us. Say it's still not too late for what's it's surreal to reach us.
Thank you. I get choked up sometimes. I just have to deal with it. Okay, I want to do another nice calm one like that since we're all in a nice. Sounds calm, doesn't it?
I met a dove once who was white as snow, turned her a shade of gray. Dove, she wants to spread her wings. Crow wants to clip them white dove wings away. How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow learn to fly so high? Well, he can rise up to heaven again. Went down to the depths of despair. Wanted loose dirt on my grave. Felt around in the dark among the wicked and depraved. How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? Go up to heaven again. How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? Rise up to heaven again. How does a heart turn black as coal? How does a heart turn black as coal? How does a heart turn black as coal? How does a crow save his own wretched soul? How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow fly like an eagle? How does a crow learn to fly so high? Go up to heaven. Go up to heaven again. Go up to heaven again.
Thank you. This is a song. This is another song I wrote. That last song, by the way, a guy named Lincoln Durham does that. If you haven't caught him, catch him on YouTube. Awesome blues guy. I think he's like 20 years old. He's out of Texas. All these guys keep coming out of Texas. I don't know what they're putting in the water down there, but awesome blues stuff. Anyway, Lincoln Durham is his name.
Granddad worked the rigs out past the Delta. My daddy and his brother, they did too. Well, Uncle Jacques, he lost an eye when a choke chain let fly. Oh, but a man goes on and does what he's gotta do. Me, I spent my days out on a shrimper. When I landed, when I come back from the war. I had to fight, I had to travel, but broken sand can make dreams unravel. I was just glad to have the Gulf outside my door. Outside my door, outside my door. You know my people never looked for riches, but on the Gulf we were never poor. We made our lives out on the water. Now I gotta tell my son and daughter that ain't a life that we'll be living anymore. Watch a rich man stare into the camera. Heard him promise the small folk the company'd make it fine. 11 men blown straight to hell. Gulf is choking on his well. Hey, it's just a glitch on that rich man's bottom line. And we can play it mad or sad or sick or stupid. Line up and take the company's little crumbs. Every hole that weren't a keeper, they drove them rigs deeper and deeper. Only a fool would claim a day like this could never come. Hey, never come. We thought no change would ever come. Work your day away, take the Friday pay, and let your head and heart grow numb. An old story, but we never learned it. That bridge was gone before we burned it. People got to fall when they fail the ground that their life comes from. Well, the rich men and the cameras, they all found better things to do. Ain't that just the way that story goes? Come that keeps on spinning, most of us lose while a few keep winning. Oh, and where that story gonna stop, there ain't nobody knows. Out on the salt today, they say the wind is heavy. Out on the salt, they say they'll soon be drilling more. Out on the salt, seabirds flying. Out on the salt, the bottom's dying. Oh, out on the salt, a few folks trying to remember what a world is for. Outside my door, just outside my door. Outside my door, outside my door. You know my people never look for riches, they're never poor. We made our lives out on the water. Now I gotta tell my son and daughter, oh, that ain't a life we'll be living anymore.
Thank you. Guys doing okay? The song's by a young guy named John Fulbright. I don't know if any of you have ever heard him. He's an awesome guy. He wrote this song. He said he was trying to write the single most country-sounding song that he could possibly write. So this is what he came up with. This isn't actually it yet. Like, this is not it exactly. This is not reflection. Reflection is true. This is just me. Me wanting you. Sweet silver memory that I can't undo. Ah, but this is just me. Me wanting you. And when I drink, I find myself longing never to show what I'm to do. Sometimes I think you're still out there waiting. Ah, but this is just me. Me wanting you. Our memories a river. It winds and it changes. Cries when it's happy. Smiles when it's blue. I taste your
kiss. I feel you around me. Ah, but this is just me. Me wanting you. Ah, this is just me. Me wanting you.
John Fulbright, Me Wanting You. Let's get rid of this stinking cable. We don't need no stinking cable. I want to sign you one more and then take a break. That's on the whole premise that I can actually get this in here. I used to think that I was playing with a guy one time, and he couldn't get his guitar in tune. He could not get his guitar in tune. And he held it up like this and looked at it and looked at the crowd and said, "Did you know that these things eat their young?" Well, what's left of the young, these harmonica neck holders, they eat the rest, like the bones and the fur and everything. So we did an immigrant song a little earlier, the Portees. This one's in a little lighter vein, I would say, if you can put a song about the immigration question in a light vein. But who could possibly fail to do that if they were named Tom Russell? So one of the great folk composers right now. Although he'd probably roll over in his grave if he were dead, from me saying that. So this is a song called Delicately, Who's Gonna Build Your Wall? And the chorus repeats enough that you may want to just join in out of pure exuberance. I got 800 miles of open border right outside my door. There's fat white men in little pickup trucks who want to start their own damn war. Government says they're gonna build us a wall like old Berlin, 8 feet tall. But if the feds send all the illegals home, who's gonna build the wall? Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican food when your Mexican maid is gone? Who's gonna wax the floors tonight down at the local mall? Who's gonna wash your baby's face? Who's gonna build your wall? Now I ain't got no politics, so don't lay that rap on me. Left wing, right wing, up wing, down wing, I just see strip malls from sea to sea. It's fat cat white developers who started this whole damn squall. Pyramid scheme, lead jobs, who's gonna build a wall? Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican food if your Mexican maid is gone? Who's gonna wax the floors tonight down at the local mall? Who's gonna wipe your baby's face?
got fundamentalist Muslims. We got fundamentalist Jews. We got fundamentalist Christians, hereby offending everybody, I think, equally. We blow the whole thing up for you. Well, I've been all around this great big world, and there's one thing I most fear. It's a white guy standing in a polo shirt by a piece of ground with a cell phone in his ear. Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican dinner when your Mexican maid is gone? Who's gonna wax the floor tonight down at the local mall? Who's gonna wipe your baby's face? Who's gonna build your wall? Thanks. Break time. You may talk among yourselves. I quit for a minute, okay?
The train rolls through black